Hey everyone, Virginia the Buckeye Gamer here. Back with another video. Happy Monday. It is Memorial Day. I'm a little late posting this. I was going to try to get to it this weekend, but husband and I were away and things just got a little crazy. So let's get back on track, shall we? So I have a very large amount of pickups that I'm going to show today. I went to, since my last video, I went to a toy fair, new video game stores on our travels, and just a lot of different places that I got a ton of great games to add to my collection. So let's start off with actually a console that I got, and it's been on my radar for a long time. I actually passed up a good deal at GameStop a few years ago. And I finally came across a console at a game shop. Now this is one that I usually frequent. And he gave me a good deal on it because it is missing the controller that it goes with, and there is a little cosmetic wear, which that we can probably get touched up a little later. But it is the Star Wars R2D2, did I say it right? R2D2, yeah. Xbox 360. But yeah, I've had my eye on this for a long time, and I am so excited to finally have it. Now it plays the R2D2 sounds when you turn it on. Now, unfortunately, I haven't plugged it in yet, to listen to the sounds and all, but this is probably a 360 that's just going to sit looking pretty because we have a plain black 360 up there that we can use for gaming if our Xbox One or the Series X don't support the titles. So, but yeah, super cool, guys. Look at that. Look at that. Maybe I'll just do a short clip of me playing the sounds on it. But anyhow, all right, where do I go next? Okay, so this next one was actually a flea market pickup. But the game was a little pricey, but it is one, again, that's been on my radar for a while, and this one is called Shaddai, Ascensions of the Metatron. So that is pretty neat. Now, I have not gotten a chance to play that. I have watched some gameplay videos of it, but the game looks absolutely beautiful. And I was so excited that actually on the trip that I went to with my husband and the game store that we visited, I actually got the Xbox 360 version of it. And this was actually a lot cheaper, and I'm not sure why. The PS3 version's a little more expensive. Maybe just lack of copies, but who knows. And then also at that same game store, I also picked up Street Fighter Alpha Anthology. I do love Street Fighter games, just fighting games in general. As I've stated before, that's one of my other favorite genres aside from RPGs. But this one comes with, let's see, Street Fighter Alpha, Alpha 2 Gold, regular Alpha 2, Alpha 3, and Gem Fighter, which I never played Gem Fighter, so that'll be interesting. Alrighty, now these were just regular retail off-the-shelf pickups. Now, this first one I'm going to show is a PS4 game. The reason I want to show this first is I actually picked this up at Five Below. Now, for those of you that don't know, it is a discount store. Obviously, not a lot of their products are under $5 right now, but I was able to pick this up. I think it was $5.55 or something, some kind of weird price like that. But this is called Monkey King Hero is Back. Now, apparently this is part of a game series that I know next to nothing about. But I'm excited to dig into it again for $5 and change. You couldn't really beat it. But as you can see, it's still in the shrink wrap because I have not gotten around to really opening it and looking at the contents. But there's that. And the rest of these were, I believe, GameStop pickups. Now, this last one I actually forgot to put in my last pickups video. But I did get Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Awesome Kirby game. My favorite for the longest time was Kirby 64 Crystal Shards. I think this one's going to take the #1 spot. I haven't got to play it much, but what I have played of it, it is absolutely amazing, and I am determined to finish it. I have a bad habit of not finishing Nintendo games, but anyway. The next one I got, I just kind of picked up on a whim, and this is Game Builder Garage. So what you can do, this is just a nice little game here that lets you tinker with game mechanics and, making your own games and whatnot. So I played WarioWare DIY on the DS years ago, and this is what it kind of reminds me of. probably not as quirky or weird as the WarioWare games usually are. But I'm definitely excited to try that out. And then I believe this is my last, yeah, it's my last Switch game. I have Danganronpa Decadence. So what this is basically is a compilation of all the Danganronpa games that have gotten released up to this point. A lot of these games were on the Vita, and unfortunately to purchase them on the Vita they're extremely expensive. So I was really happy to come across this compilation. Now I do have one of the Danganronpa games for the Vita, but honestly I'm probably just going to resort to playing the Switch compilation. So that is pretty cool. I got it for a reasonable price. So that means I don't have to miss out on the games. Let's see, we also got a PS4 pickup here, and this is Trials of Cold Steel 4. I do love the Trials of Cold Steel games, at least what I've played so far, but I'm moving very slowly into this series. But yeah, I'll get to it eventually. Right now I am playing Trials of Cold Steel 2 on the PS4, and I also have the first Trials of Cold Steel for the Vita. Both great games. I don't know if it's a good idea to play them simultaneously, but oh well. So Trials of Cold Steel 4. And then we also got Edge of Eternity, which is like an indie style RPG. I believe the physical copy is a GameStop exclusive. I could be wrong on that. If I am and you know, just go ahead and leave a comment down below about that. Again, this is one I've seen like gameplay recordings of, and it does look interesting. Not the best looking game out there, obviously, because it is an indie title, and you know, indie titles don't necessarily have the most up-to-date graphics. Doesn't make them any less fun. But anyhow, I'll dig into that here pretty soon. And this next one was kind of just a blind buy. Again, this is kind of like an indie adventure game, but it's called Road 96. Now, I don't know anything about this, honestly. All it says back here is, you hit the road, adventure, freedom, escape, run, flee the regime, try to survive. Interesting. Interesting take on it. So we'll see. So that is it for my GameStop stuff. I'm trying to think here. Where should I go? Oh, and then the next bit here was from an eBay lot that I got of PS Vita games. And these are all Lego games, as you can see. Lego games on the Vita are actually still extremely cheap. And they're actually most of these, no, actually all of these were sealed. Lego Chima would be the first one here. This one I did play. It only took me a few hours to finish. But it is a good game for what it is. Nice little platformer. And then we got Batman. We got Batman 2 and Batman 3. And we got Lego Jurassic World. And Lego Ninjago Shadow of Ronin. So I'll dig into those when I can. And then the last stack I have here is from a toy fair that I went to. Now, unfortunately, this ate up the last of my funds that I was planning to have for the game convention I'm going to in July. Hopefully I can save up a little bit of money. I'm pretty sure that I can now that all of that's over with, but I'm just not going to have much to work with. But I know this year my husband and I are focusing more on memories and experiences rather than buying a lot of stuff. So anyway, now these are some game system here that I never really had any pickups for. I do have a console. But I finally am adding Game Gear games to my collection. So we have Sonic Chaos. I do remember playing this back in the day. And Columns. Really nice puzzle game there. And I also got a stack of Game Boy games. And these are regular Game Boy. No Game Boy Color or Game Boy Advance or anything. First one we have here is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Now, if you guys can see this little symbol up here towards the corner, that's because this game here is actually enhanced for the Super Game Boy, which was an add-on for the Super Nintendo that allowed you to play Game Boy games on your TV. So I don't know if the Super Game Boy like works on the Retron 5, or if this will, if I put it in the Retron 5, if the Super Game Boy effects will work. I haven't tried it yet. But we also got Paperboy. Played the NES version of that. Super Mario Land. And also we got this in these little Game Boy holders. I remember these from back in the day too with my Game Boy Color. How the heck do I get this open? Oh, there we go. Push the button. So we got Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins, which I do hear this is one of the best ones in the Super Mario Land series for Game Boy. I never played those back in the day, though, shockingly. So, be a new experience. And those games are pretty short, too, I hear. And then this next one really caught my eye. I never played it in its original form, just the remake, remaster for the Nintendo Switch, but we got Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. Okay, so I'll get that put back in. And then we also got, what's the next one here? Don't know why these cases are hard for me to open. And then we got Game & Watch Gallery 2. Now, I did have this when I was a kid back in the day. So, just some Game & Watch games. And then the next two, we have, these are part of the same series. So we have Dragon Warrior Monsters. Now, Dragon Warrior is now more commonly known as Dragon Quest. So we got that. And then I'm going to see if you guys can see this with the covering here. We have Dragon Warrior, and this is Monsters Kobe's Journey, I believe is what it says here. So I don't know how well you guys can see that in the covering, but there you go. All right. We also got some PS1 games to add to the collection. So this first one, I'm going to try to take these. I didn't realize I had the price tags on here still. Try to take this one off. So this first one is Bushido Blade 2. Fighting game there. Pretty cool. These next two are part of the same series, and I have wanted these for so long. The reason why I never really got them originally, and I may have mentioned this in videos before, but when I was growing up, the PS1 was actually my first console that I could actually call my own. And my parents, and, you know, looking back on it now, I'm grateful that they were able, you know, to have these standards in place for me and looked out for me and everything. But I was not allowed to play games in most cases that were out of my age range. So I usually had to stick with like games that were rated E or E10. You know, when I was 11, I did have a few teen rated games, but after my parents looked them over first. But we have Parasite Eve 1 and Parasite Eve 2. So again, wasn't allowed to play these back in the day for age reasons, but now that I'm an adult, I can play whatever I want, buy whatever I want, nobody bats an eye. So, pretty cool to add these to my collection. I think I'm pretty well done with PlayStation 1 collecting. There's a couple more games I'm looking for, but I'm pretty well done with PlayStation 1 games. So, and then the next one I got at this toy fair was a PlayStation 2 game, Okage Shadow King. So I've been meaning to add this to my collection for a while. A nice little adventure. I think it might have some RPG elements in it too, but I don't know much about it. And then I also got a hefty stack of PS3 games. So the first time I'm actually going to show off, these weren't part of the toy fair, but I just decided to keep them here anyway, just because I've got a lot of PS3. We have Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3 for the PS3. Now, I do have a compilation for the 360, but the only reason I got these is, look at the prices on them, $3 each. And for as much content as the Mass Effect games do have, I had to pick those up because like $3 for the amount of stuff you get's awesome. I've never played the Mass Effect games though, to be perfectly honest, but now that I've got these and I've been playing my PS3 a lot as well, definitely will start digging into these. So I'm going to start obviously with Mass Effect 2. We'll move on to 3 and go from there. Now the next one I actually got here, I already have this game in my collection, but the reason I picked it up is because it was super cheap. And the game technically goes for a lot more in the used game market, but that's 3D Dot Game Heroes. Now I've heard a lot of people reference this as the best non-Legend of Zelda game. They were worded a little differently, but I think you guys catch my drift. Amazing game, guys, but the problem is right now in the secondhand market, this game can run you easily between $50 and $80 depending on the condition, if it's complete, and know how good the shape the case is in and all that. I originally bought my copy when it was like $12 at GameStop. One guy at the toy fair had this in a $5 game bin. Now, I don't know if he didn't realize what he had or what. I did try talking to him about how much it's worth. He's like, no, don't worry about it. Just take it. I'm like, okay, I can't complain. But I'm thinking about maybe just flipping this, making a little profit. I mean, nothing wrong with that, guys. So either that or I'll just take it into a shop, trade it in for some credit. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. And then the next ones we got here, again, these were just kind of blind buys, but we got Resident Evil, Operation Raccoon City. We also have Skate 2, a little skateboarding game there. And also Dynasty Warrior 7. Now, Dynasty Warrior games have been kind of hit or miss for me. I've never played this one, so be pretty interesting to see what it looks like. All right, guys, I think that is it. Yep, that looks like everything here, so huge pickups this time around. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. As always, go ahead and leave a like, a comment down below, and subscribe if you wish. And always remember, Jesus loves you. He is real. I love you guys too. What else do I say? Keep on gaming. Have a nice day. I'll catch you guys later.